Hi, I'm Kat and welcome to Kat's Cooking Corner. Today we are going to be making spaghetti carbonara. For this recipe you will need bacon, spaghetti, eggs, milk, butter, grated parmesan, fresh parsley, and ground pepper. First thing we are going to need to do is cook the bacon. So I'm using a cast iron griddle on the stovetop. So let me get it set. You want it to be a medium flame. Okay, while the griddle is warming up, let me open up the bacon. It will take a few minutes for the griddle to be heated up enough to start cooking the bacon. So while we wait for that, we'll go ahead and open our bacon. Grab a plate and prep it with paper towels for draining the grease once the bacon is done. Now I'm going to say that the griddle is probably warm enough. No, dusty butt. And I already made a slight mistake, which isn't anything super bad. It's going to make the bacon stick a little. Ideally, you would want to spray your cast iron down with a non-stick spray before you start adding the bacon. I forgot to. It's just going to make the bacon stick initially, but bacon has plenty of grease, so in the end it will all work out. We are going to put 6 slices of bacon on here. And I'm going to let it cook for a moment. While it does that, I'm going to wash my hands. I've already flipped the bacon once, so while it's cooking, we can go ahead and start prepping our spaghetti. So get a nice big pot ready and fill it with water. I've filled it about 2/3 of the way full. Put it on my back burner here and turn the heat up to high. And wait for the water to boil. Let's check on the bacon again. And you want your bacon brown but not burnt, somewhat crisp, because we will be cutting it up. I'm going to put a smidge of salt into my spaghetti water. And thing about bacon you have to remember is that it will continue to cook even after you take it off the heat. So you don't want it totally crisp when you remove it from the griddle. Now, bacon is finished. We're going to let it sit here, cool off a little bit, and drain while we wait for the water to boil for the spaghetti. Okay, if you want to go ahead while you're waiting for your water to boil, you can go ahead and prep your parsley. We're going to we need roughly a half a cup of chopped parsley. So we're just going to take a few twigs here. I don't know exactly what they're called, but they look like twigs to me. So we're just going to take a nice handful here. Take a nice sharp knife and just start chopping them up. Now most of the stems we will remove. If you get a little bit of stem in there, stems just aren't that chewy, so most people don't want to eat them. Okay, and then we are going to try to get under the cat and throw that in the trash. Up a little bit finer. And then we'll just set this aside until we're ready for it. Okay, you want your water to be boiling. Whoops. And then we're going to add 1 pound of spaghetti. Some people like to break up the noodles. I don't. So just let them soften up, kind of move them around until they actually all slide in to the pot under the water. Now we're going to let the water come back to a boil. We're going to let the water come back to a boil, and then once it's boiling again, we're going to cook the spaghetti for 10 minutes. And while the pasta is cooking, we can go ahead and start prepping our bacon. have nice golden crisp strips of bacon here. Oops. Move this around so you can see. Maybe. So we're going to chop it up kind of like this. Okay, after about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, you'll want to check your spaghetti. And I always do a taste test. So let's get a strand here. It's perfect. So we're going to turn off the heat and take this and drain it in the sink. Okay, once it's drained, we will return it to the pan and set it aside. Now we are ready to make the sauce. So we're going to start out with a saucepan. And to this, we are going to add, just a moment, get a whisk. We're going to start with 2 eggs. Whisk them up really good. Set it aside for a moment. Now we are going to pour in 2 cups of milk. Oops. 4 tablespoons of real butter. Go ahead and light the burner to about a medium flame. And then we're going to whisk in the egg. And we're going to let this cook on the stovetop for about 6 minutes, stirring pretty much constantly. You want to make sure the butter is totally melted and that the egg is essentially cooked. It's going to remain in a liquid form, but we want it cooked. So this will take about 6 minutes. Okay, what we do not want is scrambled eggs. So that's why medium to a medium-low heat, and you want to stir it pretty much constantly. I mean, you can walk away for a moment, but you want to continue stirring so that it doesn't stick to the bottom and actually start cooking the egg part. Go ahead and cover the spaghetti so that it doesn't get cold while we're waiting for this part. Okay, after about 6 minutes, it should be ready to go. Like I said, you don't want to overcook it. You don't want to undercook it. You want the egg cooked, but still liquid. Now we are going to take our spaghetti and let's see here. I'm going to move it to a bowl, serving bowl. Oops. Hot. I'm going to pour the egg mixture over it. Just kind of blend it slightly. Make sure that's dry. Now we need to add a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Left in there. I'm going to go ahead and kind of blend that in, toss it. And we're going to pour our chopped bacon in, on here. And we're going to pour our chopped bacon in, our chopped parsley, kind of toss it all together. And then we're going to take a little bit fresh crushed, freshly grated black pepper, grinded, whatever it's called. Now, if you do overcook the egg part just a little bit, don't worry, it's still edible. Thank you for watching today's episode of Kat's Cooking Corner. If you'd like to see more recipes, please subscribe.